Hello and welcome to Programming 2, specifically about arrays. Now, the general idea of an array is it's very much like a variable, except you declare a series of, let's say, variables that are numerically accessed in order to put information in it. It's very similar to a mathematical array, if you will. What I've done is, once again, as I've done previously, is I've taken a look at the chapter, and I found a very basic array use program. It's on page 381, chapter 7, Introduction to Arrays. Now, as we take a look at the way this is outlined, I want to talk about, first off, how things are declared, and then what's actually kind of going on in the code, and then, of course, I demonstrate it so you can take a look. So, right here, I declare int I, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, that declares an integer called I that will be used for the for next loop that is outlined right here. Then I have this variable called score5. Now, the way score5 works is it declares an array that actually starts at 0. Whenever you declare an array, this represents how many elements are in it, but it always starts at 0. So if I declare it to be 6 long, it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 6 elements, but that includes the 0. So if you start counting at 0, it goes to 5. For instance, this is score5. That means that it is actually containing 5 elements, but they're numbered 0 through 4. And if I count 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 elements, right? Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 elements. So, what this does is this goes off in memory. It finds a section in memory, and it declares it, or it calls it score. And then inside that section of memory called score, it divides up the array into 5 elements numbered 0 through 4. And if I want to access them, I have to access them numerically. So score 0 equals whatever, score 1 equals whatever. And what I've done is I've created an Excel spreadsheet, and I've kind of outlined what goes on. So here's my score. So I've declared right here where it says int I score 5. So I've declared score. And it's 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, and they're numbered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, total of 5 elements. They don't have any values in it. We've just declared them right there. Then, we're going to enter 5 scores. The very first one it takes in is score 0. Now, the reason it does this is because it has a value called max, meaning that it's trying to find the max value in this array. Now, the reason it does the very first one is no matter what occurs, all the other values that come after the first one are either going to be greater than it or equal or less than. So if you're always trying to find the maximum or the minimum number, in an array, you always set the very first value to be both the max and the min, and then you do comparisons off of this. So in our particular case, we set score 0 to be the max. And then what it does is it counts through. It says for I equals 1. Now notice it's using 1 because it's already given a value to 0. So this value is already given in this line of code right here. And then it says for I equals 1, I less than 5, meaning it's going to count, it's going to start at 1, and it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, adding 1 each time to I. So cn score I. So the very first one we've already taken in score 0. Now we're going to take in score 1, score 2, score 3, and score 4. Then what it does is it says, all right, the highest score is max because that's whatever it's sent it by, right? And if score 0, if score I is greater than max, meaning whatever value it's just taken in is greater than whatever it's set for max, it sets the new max equal to whatever that is. It's just, is this greater than this? If it's not, leave max alone. If it is, add one more. So the highest score is max. The scores and their differences from the highest are, and then it does a series of subtractions based on max, whichever the max value is, minus the score starting at 0, less than 5, and it ends. So let's go ahead and run this, kind of step through it, and take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the values, and I'm also going to write max here so you get a general idea what the max is. Right? So let's copy it so you can actually see what it is. So there's our two variables. This is an array. Okay. This is our max. So let's go to the code itself, which I just so happen to have coded right here. And let's bring this up. And let's go ahead and run it. Now notice I've done the appropriate things to make it run. I did upstream, downstream, which I guess I don't really need the input output. It doesn't matter. Int and the score I've declared, and I've. Oh, there should be std. Cn. There we go. And there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run it. All right, so enter scores, enter 5 scores. So I put in 23. Now, as it loops through, the very first one is I'm setting score 0. So I'm taking in the value of 23 and I'm putting equal to score 0, and I'm also making max to be 23. So I push enter. Now, when it does that, now I'm about to start in my for next loop, but the very first thing it does, score 0 is 23, max. Max equals score 0 is 23. So now I set both of those to 23. All right. So here we go. There we go. So we get 23 and 23. Now, the very next one, I'm going to put in a 12. Now what it does when it enters in 12 for I equals 1, so now I'm on the first element of the array, it takes in score 12. Is score I greater than max? Well, is 12 greater than max? No. So it puts in 12 right here. All right. Then what it does, let me just center all these so it's easier to see. Oh, there we go. Then what it does, now I'm going to put in another one. Now this time I'm going to put in 25. Now what it does when I put in 25, it actually does a few things. Very first thing is, since I'm on the second element of the array, it makes this 25. Then what it does, it says, is score I, which on the second element, which is 25, is 25 greater than max? Well, max was set to 23. Yes, 25 is greater than max, so I put max equals the score I. Well, I is 2, 25, so max is now 25. So there's my max, there's my value. I'm going to go ahead and put in another value. I'm going to put in 5. It does a comparison. Puts 5 right here. Is that greater than the max? No, it isn't. So I don't do anything with it. And I'm going to put 23 in there. So it puts 23 in here. All right? See, score I is greater than max. No, it isn't. And I continue. Now, so is 23 greater than 25? No, it is not. Then what I do is I break down to this right here. And it did a score where it said, okay, the highest score is this, and it subtracts max minus whatever score is, going through the array from 0 as long as I is less than 5. So it starts off at 0. Let me find my Excel spreadsheet right here. Starts off at 0, which is 23. So it says so max is 25 minus score I, which is 0, which is 23. So 25 minus 23 is 2. And the difference is 2. That's correct. The next element now goes to 12. 12 is off from the max, which is 25, by 13. 25 is off by 0, meaning that is the max. Right? And then 5 is off by 20. So notice we're stepping through this one at a time. I equals 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. So I'm using the integer I to count through these values. So now I'm on 5, and then I get to the fourth one, which is 23. 25 minus 23 is 2. So 23 is off by 2. Right. So what it does, kind of to recap, when I declare a variable value, score 5, I'm actually creating an array of variables in memory, good way to think about it, a series of containers that have numbers, similar to houses on a street. each house on one particular street has a street number. That street number references that particular house, and inside that house you have the people who live there. So you first have to find the street, and then you have to find the house number. The street would be considered the name of the array. The house number would be considered a section of the array that you're actually going to. So the name of the street, score 5, in this particular case are 5 addresses numbered 0 through 4. And I've actually accessed each one of the addresses and put values here, 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 and here. There's 5 elements. So you could do this with any type of variable you want. Strings get a little tacky sometimes. But keep this in mind as you go forward when you're doing the assignments. And as always, if there's any particular questions, you can email me directly. You can speak to your proctor. And of course, we will have a discussion Wednesday night when I introduce the material as well. Thank you very much for your time.